Hey fellow reefers, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lee. This is Reefer Explained. Today we're taking a look at my Red Sea 250 G2. We're talking about feeding corals and fish in particular. If you're new to the channel and you like this content, please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe. It just really helps the channel out and obviously keeps me bringing this content for you. While we're looking at the tank, we're going to switch over to a different lens so that we can not have this blue hue. So that may be a little bit better, and we'll cover that. This is just using an orange lens over the camera itself. Just helps dial out some of that blue. So currently we are feeding the tank on an auto feeder. Currently touch base is on. So as you can see, it's not ideal because we don't really have a port, but this does work. So you can do a manual feed by pressing a button here. If we can just squeeze around and just try and show you. I'll take this off, maybe it'll be better, maybe not. So you can press manual and you've got the timers set, so it's on in the morning and afternoon. It just does one turn round. You can set it as many turns as you like, kind of thing, and it will just drop straight through. Some will pile up, but most of it will drop through into the ring, and then obviously the fish will see that as a chance for them to go up and feed. It allows it to sit in the ring, and obviously then for the flow to push it around the tank instead of going straight down the overflow. They're more baffled about me at the moment at this point. We're using the orange lens here. It is a little bit oranged out, so let's just switch over to a yellow. Okay, so yeah, I think yellow is better. So you can see a lot more happening now. So the fish have seen the food, they're going up and feeding. So they'll get fed twice a day on some flake food. I've never used pellet food. It's always been flake food for me. No reason at all. It's just what I've used, and using this brand here, this one here, and again, it's worked really well for me. I do feed a mixture of brine shrimp, mysis, copepods, frozen foods, some red plankton, some fish eggs, oyster eggs, and then I just sometimes put some garlic mix in there, mix it with the salt water. I leave for like 40 minutes. Once it's thawed out, I just shake it a few times and then pour it down the inside the tank for them to feed on, and that gets fed 2 or 3 times per day depending. I always just feed a little bit at a time while I'm here, and then that allows the fish to obviously get that food and not go down the overflow and contribute towards issues. Coral wise, we're feeding twice a week for the tank. So we're using Aquaforest Amino Mix. It's just an energy supplement for the corals. I dose 2 drops per time into the tank, allow that to sit, turn off all the flow. I'll dump in a measurement of 10 mils of coral food by Salifert. This works really well, this stuff. Wasn't sure, but no, it's really done well for me. And then the Goni Power is the main food that's kind of a dried freezed coral food. You just put it in some water. I would say be careful on how much you're actually using. There is some instructions on here, but I just use a little teaspoon and just use a small amount to add into the water. Once it's kind of dropped to the bottom, then I feed it into the tank, and I don't target feed with this. I just mainly just drop it into the tank, allow it to swirl into the tank, and then leave the pumps off for 10-15 minutes on all of these factors here, and that works really well at the moment, as you can see. So we're running at, because we're talking about food in and nutrients, so running at 11.9 on nitrates, a little bit higher than usual. I dosed manually, so that's why we're up there, and we were originally around 5, so we've jumped up a lot. But I've seen an explosion of coral growth and polyps extension due to that, so that's a good sign for me. If you can see, some of these corals are now fully out and encrusting, even these ones that I thought had perished, this one as well. Cyphastrias can be a little bit awkward and difficult, but they are really doing well. Even this one that was nearly gone, you can see the heads are coming back out. This was from the old tank and really wasn't doing so well, but since my nitrates and phosphates are around 0.03 ppm, as long as the test is working correctly, which is by refactory, and that has currently gone down. So this has really bounced back. This was completely perished, and now it's grown back to where it should be. I think it's growing more heads, so hopefully this will be a colony soon, a mini colony. We've got some other ones up here that seem to be growing back as well. And some of these other ones here at the back I've moved. They're doing really well here, and placement and corals. So most of them are doing really great now, and that's what I'm trying to focus on more than adding more coral to the system. So we'll just see how that goes for the future. Fish wise and everything, yeah, as I said, they're getting fished 2 or 3 times a day. They're getting fed, and when we're feeding fish and coral, have to take in consideration that feeding the same food is going to get boring for them. So from time to time I'll mix it up with some different frozen foods and really just take it from there and see if they're doing quite well with those options. Regarding obviously nutrient export, I've touched bases on before, not doing anything more special to the tank itself, but we are running obviously the Roller Mat 500, and that's pulling out all of that gunk at real time on the main drain. And then we are using the Max Effect Jump Skimmer that's obviously skimming out the waste. Running a UV sterilizer for algae management, mainly for clarity of water, not for pests or anything like that, for fish disease. So just simply because I've only had the 7 fish in here and not added anything new, and the fish seem to be fine, they're not sick or anything, so that's good. And then we just got the TMC on a timer with some carbon and some media for heavy metals, just in case there's anything in the system not liking. Got the media below that's keeping nitrates at the lower levels, I believe. There's quite a bit in here in these 2 containers, and then 2 bricks below. And then we've got just the general stuff that's running the system on this. So nothing new to share, unfortunately, on this side of it. But I just wanted to touch bases on the whole kind of preference of the tank, how it's doing. And as you can see, there's barely any algae in here, and we're at a higher nitrates and phosphate level than I've ever been. So I think this is a clear indication that some corals, obviously, like Gonnies alves, we've got a cabbage leather coral at the back here. It's growing quite well. Polyps are out on it, so it's doing really well. They like more dirtier, muddier waters, so I think this is a kind of clear indication to me that I should be around 10 nitrates, and phosphate should be within par of that, so probably 0.04 or 0.05, but I don't really want to go up too much on phosphates where things will start to decline for me in a bad way. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video today on just what I'm feeding on a kind of day-to-day basis, how I'm feeding my fish and coral, and how things are coming about, then I would really appreciate you liking, subscribing to the channel, giving me some content feedback. And a lot of you out there are giving me some helpful tips on how to do things, and also sharing your experiences in the field. And that's a general feeding for me, just to allow them. And I don't turn off the pumps because I want the fish to move around and swim naturally to catch their food. It's not going down the overflow as far as I can see. They're catching most of it before that happens. So as I said before, if you really enjoy this channel and the content that I'm bringing, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.